High school, the final step on a person's path to independence, to adulthood. It is a time for friendship, laughter, drama, and in some cases, a multitude of wedgies. Not a lot happens around these halls. Sure, we'll get lucky to be a witness of the occasional brawl, but it's usually the routine of things that occurred here. When I was given this assignment in my journalism class, I was stumped on a good idea at first. But then I remembered that once my older brother's friend's cousin's roommate had once told me of a historical rivalry between two students here at this very school. It created a ripple effect which impacted the lives of many people for years to come, at least I'm told. Well, when we get there, join me, Pete Toal, in my quest for truth, justice, and an A in my fourth period journalism class. So, Mr. Bowie, David Bowie, is that your real name?
Yeah.
Are you in any way related to the singer?
No, it's just a coincidence.
Oh, my mistake. To be honest, I just love his music. I'm a huge David Bowie fan. Just doesn't get any better from when he sings Fame or Space Out. I mean, you must love his music.
Yeah, he's pretty good, I guess.
So tell me, what's your favorite song of his?
I don't know. I guess I sort of like them all.
I feel the same way. I can never decide. Okay, down to business. David.
You know you can just call me Dave.
Oh, okay, fine. Gaucho, thank you for agreeing to be a part of this.
Pleasure's all mine, Pete. Thanks for having me.
So, how have things been since you graduated high school?
Well, I'll tell you, Skip. Times have been rough. You know, I got this job. Pays well, but the hours are rough.
Thanks, Stewie!
You're welcome, Miss Clifton. My landlord has really been hounding me lately.
Stewie, I'm running the Blockbuster. You want anything?
Leave me alone, Ma. God! You know what? Actually, Ma, just run me School Rock again.
But besides all that, things have been dandy. I got real excited when you contacted me for this. I love reliving my high school days. Good times.
So now you are a new student when you came here for intermediate school, correct?
Yeah, that's right. My family and I moved here from my home in southern Missouri. Wasn't sure how I'd feel about being here with all you northerners, and I knew it would be a little hard to fit in at first. It wasn't until around my sophomore year that my inevitable popularity came. And that's why they call it Scotch tape.
That was evil. Who is that? Hey, are you new here? I haven't seen you around before.
Yeah, today's my first day here. I'm Dave.
Oh, cool. We haven't had new people lately. So many boring people.
I was brand new to school and I was just trying to introduce myself to some people. Trying to get my name around a little bit.
So, I'm Stu. This guy looks at me and says something that can only be taken as opposite of a good first impression.
You wear sunglasses inside. That's weird. Why do you do that?
You know, I guess the principal forgot to mention to that dingus when he first got here that wearing sunglasses inside is my look. It's my thing. It's cool. You know, no one questions Super Stu's look.
I don't know anyone that wears sunglasses inside. That's pretty stupid. I mean, the whole school seemed pretty well lit to me.
So I knew, you know, this guy was on my not very well-liked list of people, right next to Colin White and Mel Gibson.
How were things between you and Stu after your first encounter with one another?
Well, actually, we hadn't really said much to each other during the first few months of school. I wasn't avoiding the kid or anything. I didn't really care for him much.
Well, I've been watching that rat like a hawk ever since we met. You know, something about him just really grinds my gears, besides the fact that he insulted my look.
It wasn't until, what, they made you confront him again?
So I was playing wall ball with my buddies, right? And I was warming up my throwing arm, getting ready. You know, then I heard them talking about something awfully strange.
So you know anything about that new kid, David Bowie? Whenever I hear people talk about him, it's always about how cool his name is, which, you know, I completely agree with, by the way.
I know, right? But yeah, I don't know much about him. He just seems like a regular kid, just with a cool name.
cool name. It's a great name.
Oh, did you hear that crazy story about him?
No, tell me.
On the first day of school, he went up to Stu Gaucho and introduced himself, and Stu acted all like smug towards him. And Dave asked him why he was wearing sunglasses in school, because he doesn't know a lot of things because he's not from here. So apparently then Stu insulted Dave's mother when Stu doesn't even know. So right to his face, and Dave slapped Stu right across the face.
Dude, no way.
I know, right?
Oh, wait, he's coming.
Yeah, I heard all that, and it's the first I'm hearing of it. Who'd you hear this from?
Well, I heard it from Karen, who heard it from Tommy, who heard it from Rachel.
You know, I don't care. I'll find it myself. Thanks to my intense stalking I did on little Bowie Peep's schedule, I knew he had 6-period lunch, and his car was parked in the jury parking lot. I came out of study hall a little too early. I sat in the bathroom for about a half hour. Then I met up with my jock buddies, Biff and Slater, and we went out to track this kid down. Hey, Bowie! Heard you've been making up rumors about me.
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you know, the one about how you slapped my boy Stu in the face and made fun of his sunglasses. I heard it from my boy Slater.
Yeah, and I heard it from Scott Malkinson.
So was it you who started the rumor?
Oh yeah, that was all me. It could have easily been one of those girls who started that rumor that same day that I met. But to be honest, I don't really care. All I know is I got $5 in my pocket. I've been craving sub doctors all day.
Yeah, well, you're still off the hook. I still don't like you, Bowie. So just watch out around school if you know what's good for you.
Yeah, watch out.
Yeah! Oh wait, actually, since he mentioned sub doctors, I'm getting pretty hungry.
You know what? Let's go to Panera Bread.
Yeah!
I'm assuming you didn't take too kindly to Mr. Gaucho's attempt to intimidate you, did you?
I would usually keep to myself and occasionally get picked on in my old school. I had to spend my entire senior year in a new school. I wasn't gonna put up with that crap again. Alright class, I'll open page 392.
Come on!
Stu Gaucho sucks eggs? How were you able to get that done?
Well, I was tired of this kid walking around the school like he's the second coming of Tony Danza. So I figured I was able to mess them a little bit with this and maybe give him a new nickname. He'll shut up for a little bit.
That son of a biscuit could hurt me or insult me, but try and screw up my high school reputation, that's the lowest of the low. I was the most popular kid and most respected kid at that school. Everyone wanted to be friends with me. That was going too far.
How were you able to get a hold of that picture of Stu?
Oh, well, I approached Stu's jock buddy Biff and asked him if he could do something for me. He was actually more than willing to sell out his friend.
Let's just say Stu wasn't treating his friends all too well. Like they say in my house, karma's a female dog, but I can't tell you who I am.
Biff, we already know it's you. There's no need to hide your identity.
Oh. Well, I also did it because I needed some money.
I'm sure you charge a high price.
Nah. When he asked me, he said I need about $350.
So I take it he was starting to get in your head?
I wouldn't go that far, but I knew that weenie wanted to play hardball now, so I had to crank it up a notch. One day in school, I waited until I saw Dave going to the bathroom. We were both in the same history class, and I made an excuse to get out. I think I said I had internal bleeding or something like that, and then I went to make my move.
Everyone look, David Bowie peed himself.
That idiot hadn't gotten up right away without even looking at me. I wouldn't have known he was the one that blew that air horn. He gave it away right there, and he made another big mistake. My parents have everyday subscriptions in 3 different newspapers. They feel as though one word jumble and one comic strip of peanuts per day isn't enough for them. There were plenty of old newspapers lying around my house to be used.
All right, class, open up the textbooks.
All right. What? This is gonna keep happening until you apologize to me. Your move, Stewie. Bowie. As long as the sky is blue and the grass is green, you can be sure that Stuart Gaucho is not going to apologize to anyone. There was only one other way I could get that yellow-bellied rat to cut it out. Kidding me? I was cleaning out my locker for the 6th day in a row when the perfect plan finally hit me. I made sure that no one would hear of him for quite some time. Oh yeah, I took care of him.
No!
You left David Bowie stranded on a desert island?
Well, I mean, if you consider a small island behind the Red Roof Inn deserted, which I do.
Wow, that must have been quite a traumatic experience for you. Were you able to get off right away?
Oh yeah, fairly easily.
I guess something I did really upset him, because next thing I knew, David and his lawyer wanted to meet me in the school cafeteria.
Do you feel this was the appropriate course of action to take?
The guy drugged me, dragged me into his car, drove out to the river, and left me on a small patch of sand during low tide. Yes, I believe this was appropriate.
Ah, well, if it isn't Piss Pass Kid and Atticus Finch.
You brought your dumb jock buddy here?
Well, I knew you were bringing someone to represent you, so I brought my boy Slater along.
I'm sure your friend is more than qualified to represent someone.
That's true. Are you sure you know enough about this stuff to help?
Don't worry, I watched Matlock at Chili's last night. The sound wasn't on, but I think I got the gist of it.
My client is issuing a restraining order against you. It is completely binding and will last for as long as you two are living. We are here to have you sign these mandatory documents.
Whoa, a restraining order? Bowie, really? Man, I thought we were starting to grow on each other.
You left me unconscious on a tiny island during low tide. I could have drowned. You're clearly a dangerous person if you're willing to do this all because of some stupid prank.
Hey, because of you, I'm told I suck eggs 12 times a day. You know how hard that is on my look, on my popularity? You know, but forget all that. You know, I'm just heartbroken right now, Bowie. You're out of order!
Not at all.
Excuse me, sir. Can I see these supposed documents you have?
I have them right here.
Yeah!
We have 7 more copies.
You got a sign or what?
Oh, alright.
Fast forward all the way to the present. You and Stu haven't spoken to each other since the restraining order has been official. How have things been between you?
Things were going great. My schedule was changed so I had no more classes with him. And at all times of the day, we had class on opposite sides of the building.
You know, I mean, I can't tell you why, but I was starting to miss that little rascal.
Everything was going just fine without having to deal with that jerk. There has been one thing that's been missing from my life. Everyone in my old town knows that my one true passion is the sport of tennis. Friends back home call me the amateur Rafael Nadal. If I could, I'd be on a tennis court playing all day. Only problem is, every court around here is private. There's nowhere to play. Until I overheard at the local gym that someone that lives around here has their very own tennis court. I just wish it was anyone else in the world but him.
One Saturday morning, I was getting my daily exercise when I received an interesting phone call. Hello, Bowie. Is that you? Jeez, I didn't think I'd hear from you again. What's shaking, pony boy? You want to use my court? Well, that'd be just dandy if it weren't for that little dandy little restraining order you had against me. Well, I'll tell you what, all right? You find a way to lift that restraining order, and I'll gladly invite you over and whoop your butt all over my court. Stew out. At first in my head, I thought there was no way I'd let that kid in my house after all that happened. You know, but in a weird way, I was starting to miss that rapscallion. And I also don't really have too many friends, so I'll take what I can get.
I mean, I didn't want to be around that weirdo again. I haven't played tennis in so long. I needed to cancel that restraining order. The only downside was I was so pissed at the time I made it. One of the conditions were that no matter what, the order would remain intact for as long as we were both alive. My original plan was just to kill him, but that would only get me thrown in jail. Plus, they only have basketball courts in jail.
So what if I told you I had some contacts that might be able to help you out with your problem?
That'd be great.
Fill you in on the details soon.
What is this? For Pete? Beechwood Pub at 3? Alright, I guess I got nothing better to do.
Long time no see, Gaucho. Assuming you got the same note from Pete?
Note? Oh yeah, that note. I even forgot about this. I was just going to my AA meeting across town, but I decided stopping for a drink.
Oh, I guess you're doing well.
Yeah. So you catch a game last night?
Game? What game?
That's right. There was no game.
There's good old Petey. What'd you bring us here for anyway?
I wanted to tell you both that I found someone who was able to overturn the restraining order.
Biff, buddy, what's new?
Hey, bud. Yeah, I'm a lawyer now.
Oh, I deliver newspapers now.
Yeah, so I went to a judge and I got your restraining order revoked.
Finally, free tennis, here I come.
And finally, hang out with a friend for the first time in years. Here I come.
And finally, I got to overturn this town's ban on dancing.
Well, there you have it, a historic tale of two outcasts, or they thought otherwise, who developed feelings of animosity towards one another, but those feelings eventually change into an attempt to fulfill common goals. And it may not be the strongest of bonds, but a bond nonetheless, a former between the two. Pete Toal, signing out.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Cocked your head to the side and said I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me, saying get back together, come back and see me. 3 days since the living room. I realized it's all my fault, but couldn't tell you. Yesterday you'd forgiven me, but it'll still be 2 days till I say I'm sorry.
Hold it now and watch the hoodwink. Does it make you stop think? You'll think